Hello and welcome back to IXL tutorials. This is Mr. Duffick, and today we are continuing on with IXL E3, which is graphing linear equations. So each of these problems are going to give you a graph. They're going to give you an equation of a line, for a line specifically, and you're just going to graph the equation. So here they have the equation y equals negative 4x minus 1, and they ask you to graph it. So the first thing you want to remember for these problems is the equation of a line, y equals mx plus b. Okay, remember m is the slope and b is what we call the y-intercept. Some of my students call it the starting point, and I see y, but the y-intercept is a little more indicative of what it actually is, so we're going to leave it at that. So the y-intercept will start there, is the point where the line intersects the y-axis. So the y-intercept here is going to be negative 1, meaning we just go to where negative 1 is on the y-axis, which is right here. And that's going to be our first point. Okay? Once we write our second point down, we can draw our line through it and we will be done. So the second element is m, which is our slope, right? And the way you want to do this, remember slope is really the rise over run or change in y over change in x. So for this problem, it's negative 4. But it's a lot easier to think of it when you turn it kind of into a fraction. So negative 4 is the same thing as saying negative 4 over 1, right? And that way you have how much the y changes and then how much the x changes. So let's do that. We'll start here. And it looks like we're going to change negative 4 in the y direction. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to move to the right 1. We're going to move in the positive x direction 1. So right here. And there you have it. Okay. And you can repeat the process and it's going to end up down here. Repeat the process, end up here, etc., etc. But you only have to do it once because now that we have 2 points, we can just draw a line between them. Oh boy, not that line. We can just draw a line between them, sort of like that. And that line is going to go on forever. So we'll go back to our IXL here. And let me note, just to make it easier, because we'd have to actually graph the line, right? So just to make it easier, let me write the points down. So our first point is going to be at 0, negative 1, because the y-intercept. And our other point looks like it's going to be at 1, negative 5. Okay, so 0, negative 1, 1, negative 5. Start with 1, negative 5, and then 0, negative 1. So the line should be like that. Submit. There we go. Okay, let's do another one. So now we're going to graph this equation of a line right here. Y equals negative 7x plus 3. So again, we just want to look at the m and the b. We'll start with the b, the y-intercept, which is 3. And again, that is the y-intercept. It is where the line intersects on the y-axis. So it's going to be intersecting at positive 3. So up here, positive 3 on the y-axis, that's going to be our first intersection point. Now we just have negative 7 as our slope, which is really negative 7 over 1. And so we're going to go down negative 7 and then over positive 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, and then over positive 1. So really it's right there. Let me erase that first point. There. Okay. Yep, and just like that, the line is going to go through those two. Oof. So again, the points are going to be 0, negative 3, and it looks like this is at 1, negative 4. Okay. So we'll do 1, negative 4, and then 0, 3. So right there. That should be our line. Cool. Okay. Graph the line using... Okay, so you can do the same process as last time. Plus b, if there's no plus b, that just means it's 0, so our first point is going to be right here. And then a negative x, if there's no number in front of it, 1x is the same as x. So that's just saying -1 is our slope-intercept. Now, you can graph it that way. That's totally fine. -1 would be right here. But if you already know what the graph of y equals -x looks like from our transformation stuff, you know that it's the line that kind of goes diagonally like this, right? So really, this one is going to be y equals positive x, and this one is going to be y equals -x. So this is going to be our y equals -x line right there. Good. Graph the equation, x equals 3. Okay, again, going back to transformation stuff. If you remember transformation stuff, this is a breeze for you. So the equation of this line is x equals 3. That's just saying, where does 3 fall on the x-axis? Well, right here, and then it just goes straight up. So like that. Good. Okay. Y equals -1/6, x plus 2. We'll do this one, and that might be it for the day. Oh, let's not even do that. Let's just do this. So we have 2 as our y-intercept, so it's going to be +2 on the y-axis right there. And then y equals -1/6. So we're going to go, and when you have a negative fraction like that, it doesn't matter whether you do -1 over +6 or +1 over -6, because either way, you're going to end up with the same line. And I guess I can show you what I mean by that. So let's do -1/6. We'll do -1 in the y direction, and then over 6 in the positive direction. So right here, that's what that line is going to look like. So note the slope and everything. Now let's say we reversed it. Let's say we did positive 1 over -6. So we go +1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see, it's the same exact line. In fact, both points lie on that line, right? 6, -1 and -6, 1 are both on that same line. So it doesn't matter which one you use. They're both going to give you the same line. Excellent. Good. Y equals -9. Again, going back to transformations, that's just saying, where does -9 lie on the y-axis? So on the y-axis, we go down to -9, which is here. And then you can put it anywhere, really, as long as you show the line. There you go. Okay. And let me skip. That might be about it. Y equals -7 equals x plus 1. Oh, okay. So this does not give you the form you're used to for the y equals mx plus b for your equation of a line. But that's totally fine. All you have to do is get the y by itself. So I can do that real quick. Okay. So they give us the equation y -7 equals x plus 1. Okay. Well, to make it look like our equation, our slope-intercept form, we're just going to get rid of the 7, so y by itself. So we'll go +7 on both sides. So we're with y equals x. 1 plus 7 is 8, so just +8. Okay, so 8 is going to be our y-intercept, and then x, or 1x. So 1 is going to be our slope. So we'll do 8. And then a slope of 1, or 1 over 1, is just 1 over 1. Okay, so it's going to be, and then I can draw the line, I guess. It's going to look something like that. So we'll come back over here, we'll draw it there. 1 over 1. And that is going to be correct. Okay, let me jump. Same deal here. You want to put it in the slope-intercept form, so you're just going to subtract the 3x to the other side. So it'll be y equals -3x minus 6. Same deal here. And same deal here. It's like the same problem. Okay, so I'm going to end it there. Take care, study hard, and see you on the next IXL tutorial. Goodbye.